Hello, guys. Good evening. You're welcome to today's webinar, today's masterclass. David, you're welcome. Nenya, you're welcome. Clement, you're welcome. You're welcome. We are going to start right away because it's supposed to be an hour session. While we expect that a couple of us still joining, we're going to proceed right away. So today we are basically going to be looking at how to explain a career gap in an interview and make it work for you. All right. But before we jump right into it, please, I need a reaction. If you can hear me clearly, am I audible enough? Can you see my screen? Please, I need your response. Okay. Thank you. Remotely. Thank you. Who else? I need more reactions. Let me be sure that we are all on the call. We are following. All right. All right. Okay. So we are going to be jumping straight to it. Before we get to the business of the day, let me do a brief introduction of myself. Can we see my screen, everyone? I need another thumbs up if you can see my screen. Excellent, 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 David. All right, so yeah, my name is Brown. I'll be facilitating the session. I'm a trained project manager, Scrum Master, whatever the case may be. I've also had over 7 years experience as a workforce development expert. All right, I've worked across different sectors in the tech space, from mobility to fintech to health tech and ed tech as well. I'm also a mentor on a couple of platforms, from Mastercard Foundation to Faith Foundation to She Leads Africa. I'm currently an agile project management specialist with Amdari. All right, so my personal mission in life is to collaborate with forward-thinking founders, young professionals, to build capacity, first of all, in the area of project management and every other aspect of their professional development. All right, so before we get to the business of the day, I want to know where we are joining from. Yeah, we are increasing in number. So yeah, just you can drop in the chat where are you joining from. On the chat room, just drop where you're joining from. I want to have an idea of who I'm with. You can drop the chats. You can drop it on the chat room. Where are you joining from? Which city? Which country? I would like to know. Ozichi from Manchester. Welcome, Ozichi. Who else is on the call? Okay. David from Kent. You're welcome, David. Yes, who else is on the call? Please let me see where we're joining from. Southampton, remotely. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. I expect more responses, please. I want us to be as interactive as possible. Okay. UK, Clement Olufayo, UK. Okay, you're welcome, Clement. All right. Okay, so that's Brown. My name is Brown. Okay, so I have that's my brief bio of myself right there. So this night we'll be discussing the dynamics of managing the career gap. All right. Nenyago, you want to say something? You're raising your hand. If you are not in a noisy environment, you're gonna mute your mic and share what you want to say. Okay. Okay, please, you can drop your questions on the chat. I will read your chat and I will respond accordingly. All right. Just drop your questions on your chat if you have any questions already. Okay, so, but I also believe that at the end of the session, we are going to open the floor for people to ask questions. But during the session, if you have any question, please feel free to drop it in the chat section. I'm definitely going to see that. All right, so what are we discussing today? We are looking at understanding career gaps, preparing to explain career gaps, strategies for explaining your career gaps. And we'll also be looking at the Amdari Work Experience Internship and our special offer for you tonight. Okay, so before we get right into it, I want to know, have does any of us here, do we have any career gap in our CV? You know, I want to believe that. Let me just respond to me with a thumbs up if you can relate with having a career gap in your CV at the moment. You know, there is either 1 year or 2 years, you know, that there is no work experience, you know, reflecting on your CV. Let me see a reaction if you can relate with the challenge I'm describing at the moment. But I want to believe that if you join this master class, it's because you can relate with the challenge. All right. So yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting actually. How many of us? How many of us has this career gap? Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Yeah. So have you ever struggled to explain a career gap in your CV during an interview session? A lot of persons have experienced this kind of scenario where you find yourself, you know, struggling to explain the gaps in your career during an interview session. All right. So, and yeah, let me see your responses. If you have had this experience, you know, where you've had to explain yourself, explain the gap in your CV, and it was such an awkward moment for you, or you feel like probably you had an interview session and this was the reason why you didn't, yeah, they didn't call you. Okay, I can see your responses. All right, you feel like this is the reason why they didn't get back to you because you couldn't, you know, explain the gap, you know, in your career, and that's why you are here. All right. So what if I tell you that you can harness the career gaps in your CV to your advantage? All right, you can harness the career gaps in your CV to your advantage, and that is the whole essence of our conversation tonight. All right, so you can actually harness those career gaps in your CV to your advantage and become, you know, exceedingly competitive again in the in the marketplace. All right, so let's get right into it. What does a career gap mean? Okay, what does a career gap mean? I believe that we have an idea of what it means, but for the purposes of this training, I would like to define a career gap to be a period of time when an individual is unemployed. Okay, a period of time when an individual is not employed or actively working in their choosing profession. All right, during this time, okay, let me explain something. A period of time when an individual is not employed. That's one. Then another type is you might be employed, but you're not actively working in your chosen profession. You know, for instance, you are supposed to be a data analyst, you are supposed to be a project management, you know, but there is this break, you know, this 2 year break, you find yourself working in healthcare, you know, trying to make ends meet, you know. That is considered a career gap if you want to get back to, you know, looking for a job in the tech space or looking for a job in as a project manager or as a data analyst. All right, whatever you were doing outside this field is considered a gap. All right, so let me repeat that. So a career gap can be considered, you know, as a period of time when you are unemployed, you don't have any job at all, you can't even explain what you are doing, you aren't doing anything, you're not gainfully employed within a space of time. It can also be a period where you're actually working, you are employed, but you are working you know, a profession that is outside your, you know, your field. All right, so if you want to get back to your field, you know, whatever you were doing previously be considered a career gap. All right, and all of those can raise a concern, you know, for employers. All right, can raise a concern for employers, and if not properly harnessed, can, you know, just put a clog in your wheel of progress when it comes to job applications and landing your dream job. Right? Career gaps can be a concern for job seekers. Yeah, as they may raise questions in the minds of potential employers. Not that they certainly do raise questions in the minds of employers, all right, about the individual's commitment, about your skill, about your experience, you know. Yeah, but there are two types of career gaps, all right. There are planned gaps, okay. So I want to know the category some of us fall in. A lot of us might be in the category of planned gaps. Planned gaps in terms of planned career gaps is caused by either you pursuing an education, you went to pursue an education program for 1 year, for 2 years. Within that space, you've lost touch. There is a career gap in your CV. All right, that is the planned gap. Or you went for a training, for some other persons, or you decided to go on a sabbatical leave, all right, a study leave or a research leave or whatever, all right, but it's a planned gap, all right. So whenever you want to come back to active employment, well, whatever duration of time you've lost, that was lost, is considered a gap, all right. So there is also number 2, unplanned gaps, all right. Unplanned gaps can be as a result of health issues. You're sick, you're dealing with a health issue, or you have to resign to attend to a sick person, or caregiving. Exactly, that was what I was talking about, or unexpected life events. Okay, or it could also be that you lost your job. The company you're working for initially downsized, and you think you're going to land another job in the next 1 month, the next 2 months, but before you know it, 1 month turns to 3 months, 3 months turns to 1 year, 1 year turns to 2 years, and you've been trying to make ends meet, doing 1 or 2 things, but nothing that can actually, contribute to your CV. So that is an unplanned gap, all right? So, and I want us to respond in the chat room. If you have a gap in your CV, just indicate what type of gap you're dealing with. Is it a planned gap that is as a result of you going to pursue an education program or a training, or you just decided to go and learn or try entrepreneurship? Yeah, some people actually leave paid employment to go and try entrepreneurship. After 1, 2, 3 years of trying to build their own stuff, they decide to come back to paid employment. Whatever number of years you've lost when you are trying to pursue entrepreneurship is considered a gap. So I want us to respond on the chat room, what type of gap, do you currently have? Is it an unplanned gap? Is it a planned gap? I would like to know, where we fall into. It's going to help me know what I'm addressing tonight. Going to school, yeah, that's a lot of sentence. So don't stress yourself, just say unplanned gap. Planned gaps, unplanned gap. Okay. Unplanned. Oh, interesting. Unplanned gaps. I have a sort of unplanned gaps here. So can someone boldly drop what they're dealing with? What is unplanned? Is it that you were downsized, you left your job, you resigned, or was it health related issue? Just drop in the chat section. Let me know, because I was actually expecting a lot of planned gaps. You probably went to do your master's, or you went to try entrepreneurship or something else. Anybody that wants to respond? Any confident participants? Okay. Okay, we have a couple of unplanned gaps here. All right. Okay, well, whatever the case may be, a gap is a gap. Whether it's unplanned or you plan it, it's a gap. All right. And if not well harnessed, it can, work against you. But the whole essence of our conversation, tonight is to see how we can harness those gaps. All right. So it can work for us. So we can become very competitive once again. All right. So please, if you're just joining the call, there is a link on the chat room. Make sure you click it and fill the attendance sheet so you can get the material from this conversation, from this class. You can get the material. Just fill the attendance form. It's very important. It's a very short form. Just click on the link and fill the form. Thank you. So, okay, why is a gap a concern? All right, why is the gap a concern? All right, so one, it's a concern for employers. It's also a concern for the employees or the potential employees, job seekers, basically. All right, it's a concern for recruiters. It's a concern for job seekers. All right, so For job seekers, one of the concerns they have when there is a gap in your CV is that perception that you might be obsolete, all right? Skill obsolescence, you might be obsolete, all right? So they believe that having, left the industry or the profession for a very long time, they're going to be very rusty, okay? And nobody wants to hire a rusty person. Nobody wants to hire someone who is obsolete, who they believe has lost touch with industry trends, with best practices in the industry, all right? So that's one of their concerns. They believe that you're obsolete, okay? Because especially in the world of tech, I mean, a lot can change in the space of 1 year. A lot can change in the space of 2 years. So if you have been out of touch for 2 years, it's possible, they feel you're rusty, okay? That's one of the concerns that recruiters have. And secondly, they believe that you don't have momentum, all right? You don't have momentum, all right? So a break in employment can disrupt career momentum, making it harder to get back into a similar role or industry, all right? They believe you don't have the momentum, to be able to, give your best, if they give you a shot, all right? They also believe that, they also have that perception that you lack commitment, all right? So for some of them, why would you leave your field? Why would you leave your practice or leave your employment to just go gallivant and probably stay, 1 year, 2 years out of job? It gives off a sense of it gives off lack of commitment, basically, all right? That is their perception. It may not be the case, all right, but this is the perception that most recruiters are going to have of you when they see these gaps in your CV, all right? So then, but for you, the job seeker, all right, one of the concerns is the gaps in your employment history, all right? Career gaps can create gaps in employment history, which can be challenging when applying for jobs or promotion, okay? It can also reduce your earning potential. So there is a level of gap, you will experience, and you're trying to get back to work because of the gap in your CV. You tend to be at the mercy of recruiters, so they want to hire you, at instead of an experience level hire, you become an entry level hire, and it's kind of reduces your earning power. Okay, it reduces your earning power, so they want to give you a shot at an entry level person. A lot of us. I thought a lot of us joining from the UK, some of us went to study, some of us, went for the master's program or what have you. Before you traveled, you've been working in Nigeria, you've been working in wherever you are before you migrated, you've been working, you have years of experience, so, but after the career gap, you have experience so far. After the gap, all right, you're trying to get back into, full paid employment, you're finding it difficult, because you don't know how to marry your previous experience, the gap you have experienced, and the new you, that you're trying to push and sell to employers. All right. So you find yourself, going for entry-level roles once again. So that could be a concern for you. All right. So another concern is networking challenges. When you experience a career gap, you lose touch of the industry. You don't have network, and when you don't have a network, when you don't have a network, it becomes very difficult to be able to get to know what's going on in the industry in that space, and also to latch onto opportunities within that space, because there's no professional network that you're leveraging on. All right. Then there's also the place for the place for confidence and motivation. All right. Career gap, tends to affect our confidence level, your confidence level. Now you're trying to get back to full paid employment again. You're not sure of your capacity, you're not sure of your confidence, you're not sure of your abilities once more, even what the things you can do, you're not so sure about them anymore because you've been rusty, you've been out of touch for a while. All right, you've been out of touch for a while. So it affects your confidence, it affects your motivation, you are not confident in yourself, you become timid, you walk into interview sessions, with that mindset that they should just do you a favor, they should just speak to you and give you a chance again, But that shouldn't be the case. All of these are negative, effects of career gaps. All right. So these are what gives recruiters concern about you, and these are what gives you yourself concern about yourself and the gap you have. And it can be very challenging. It can be very, very, very challenging. For some of us, it's even more difficult when you're trying to make a career switch. All right, you're trying to make a career switch. For instance, you've been working in traditional organizations. Now you want to make a career switch into the tech space. Okay, you want to make a career switch into the tech space. The truth is that when you try looking for a job, potential recruiters will consider all of your years of experience that is not in tech as a gap. They will consider it as a gap. All right, and it will affect your earning potential. It might affect your earning potential. It might even affect your chances of getting employed. No matter what you've learned, what you've done, as long as they look at your CV, there is that gap that you've not been working in tech. All right, it's going to affect your earning potential or your competitiveness, when trying to get a job, especially for those trying to make a career switch. All right, so now what's the big question? What's the big question? Brown, I've heard what you said. So how do I address the career gaps to make me competitive again? Which is why we are here. How do I address the career gaps to make me competitive again? All right, so what are we going to do? So first of all, I advise that you start by owning up to it. All right, don't try to hide or deny the fact that there is a gap. All right, so the first step to solving whatever problem you have is to identify it, to understand it. All right, so you do what they call a gap analysis. All right, where am I right now? Where do I need to be? What's the gap? All right, and what do I need to do to bridge this gap? All right, don't try to deny it. Don't try to maneuver your way around it. Own it up. Believe that you have this gap, understand it, and start, trying to find ways to mitigate the gap that exists. All right. Then the next thing you need to do is to be truthful. All right. Provide a genuine reason for the gap. That is when you find yourself in an interview session. All right. Provide a genuine reason for the gap. If there is a reason why there was that gap, explain. If it's education, if it's caregiving towards health-related issues, be truthful, with why that gap existed. All right. So that is that. Then, importantly, is focus on the positive outcomes. All right. Focus on the positive outcomes. Now, this is very important because whether it's an unplanned gap or a planned gap, it's very important that within that period of time, that there is a transferable skill that you have gained, you have gained or you've garnered that can be relevant in your next employment. All right. So you must highlight the skills gained, as much as you've been out of touch, you've been out of employment for 1 year, for 2 years. I wasn't rusty. This and that are the skills I have gained, the practical skills I have gained, not just random skills that are very relevant in the role that you are seeking to enter. In the new role you are seeking to enter, mention the skills that you've gained, mention the skills that you've acquired, during those period that you're out of employment. All right. Also emphasize on personal and professional growth. What has changed in you? What has changed about you? During the period of those gaps, what has changed? What have you gained? All right. Say yourself. It's all about storytelling. Tell the story of if for some persons you left paid employment, you went to try entrepreneurship. Now you want to get back to paid employment. That years that you are trying entrepreneurship is considered a gap. All right. So when you're coming back to paid employment, you have to highlight some of the skills you gained when you are getting your hands dirty in entrepreneurship. Highlight some of the skills you gained, the growth you experienced both personally and professionally that are transferable to the new role that you are seeking to apply for. Okay. If it's education, whatever it is, just find a way to, tell your story. All right. First of all, own up to the fact that there is a gap. Then focus on the positive outcomes. What are the things that you've learned? What are the skills that you gain? What are the experiences that you gain? All right. And it's not just about skill. All right. It's not just about skill. We live in a world where a lot of attention, a lot of emphasis is placed on the experiences that you have, the experience you have. I mean, anybody can go on YouTube, learn one or two things, watch videos. You can even go on Udemy and acquire a free certification on any subject area. All right, which is good, which is excellent. All right, but especially if you are looking to get a job in the world of tech, nobody's going to be bamboozled by all of that. All right, so you're going to be highlighting what were the things you did, what were the things you did, were able to do. All right, the things you did, not just what you learned. So what did you do with the things you learned during the period that you were not gainfully employed? That is what recruiters want to hear. That is what employers want to hear. All right, so you've done this training. Okay, what have you worked on? What little project? No matter how little, show the little projects, the little things you'll be able to do, within this period, and that is what you're going to use to make a case for yourself. That's what is going to make you competitive again. All right, in pursuing paid employment once again. All right, so that is that basically. So if you're looking at migrating into tech, especially, technical skills and experience is what brings you to the table. All right. Technical skills and experience is what brings you to the table. Not just the technical skills, but the experience counts. All right. People wants to know, what have you done? What have you been able to do? All right. No matter how little, show some level of traction, show some level of expertise. What have you been able to do? What projects have you worked on? So you are trying to get into this space now. Your CV should be able to show, in as much as there is a gap between so and so, this is what I was able to do within this period. I was able to learn this, not just learn it, I was able to build this, I was able to develop this, I was part of the team that worked on this and deployed this and pushed this, launched this, This is what is going to bring you, and help you tell your story very well, and the gap will no longer be able to, be an impediment to your progress again. All right. So your technical skills and experience and employability skills is basically going to give you, land you a job offer. All right. So for some of us, if you're unfortunate, when you're applying for a job, of course, you know that your CV goes ahead of you first. All right. So once your CV gets to the table, if you're unfortunate, because of the gap in your CV, you may not even get an interview invitation to be able to even explain yourself. All right. So it is important that even while drafting or developing your CV, all right, you try to fill up those gaps with the necessary technical skills you've learned, or skills that you've acquired, and experience that you have acquired within those gaps, even if they are not full paid employment. But what were the things you are doing within those gaps? It should be spelled out in your CV, because not every time you have the opportunity to get to the interview to be able to explain yourself. So let your CV do the talking. So when you get an invitation, now you're able to sell yourself, basically. So technical skill and experience, employability skills gets you the job offer. So I'm going to go over it again. If there's anything, that I want us to get from this session as it concerns gaps in our career, it is first of all to understand that that is not the end of the road for you. It's not the end of the road. A lot of us had gaps at some point in our career. All right. Then if you understand that it's not the end of the road, then secondly, own up to it, do a gap analysis. What is the gap? Where do I want to get to? All right. What do I need to do to bridge that gap? What do I need to do to show that I'm still an asset? Irrespective of the gap, I'm still an asset. This and these are the skills and the experiences I have gathered, and I'm bringing these transferable skills to the new role I want to apply for. And you package these things in your CV, you have a portfolio, and you're able to, position yourself once again competitively. All right. And that's what Amdari provides you, and Amdari provides you a platform, to have real life projects experience that you can use to, booster your portfolio, booster your CV, to be able to position yourself excellently well in the job market again. So I will let my colleague Ozichi to come in at this point, to further the conversation. And I'll be on the call. If you have any questions, I'll be here to take your questions at the end of the session. Ozichi, over to you, please. Yeah, Ozichi, your hand is raised. Over to you.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to the session once more. Please, if you are yet to fill the attendance form, okay, and you would also like to get the recordings of this session, please fill the attendance form that is pinned on the chat. So thank you so much, Brown. I would like to share my screen now, if you'd allow me to do that in a jiffy. All right. Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen with us. So how do you gain the work experience to also help you close this, career gaps, like he has said, right? If you are busy, if you have some things that, could stop you from landing the job, then you may want to take a skill, all right? And how would you do that? That's exactly what Amdari is offering. Okay, this is a virtual remote apprenticeship experience where you get to gain hands-on experience and build your technical skill while you also do some things, maybe if you're a mom, you are home, or if you've not found a job yet, or you're trying to transition, instead of transitioning and, keeping yourself waiting for a year or keeping yourself waiting for like 2 years to fully transition, you can gain, hands-on experience after you've learned the skill, all right? Gain hands-on experience. That way, they know, these tech recruiters get to know that you are not just sitting one place and just having a career gap for nothing, okay? Trust me, it's not going to be easy, but if you put your mind to it, you can do it. So what is Amdari? What do? We help you bridge the gap, okay, between your theoretical learning and you gaining hands-on experience. So if you've learned the skill in data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis, cybersecurity or project management, or if you're currently in a boot camp, all right, trying to close the career gap, trying to transition, this is the time you would like to build your skill. Now, if you would like to get a job, trust me, in tech, if you don't have strong technical skills, it will be difficult for you to land a job. And I always like to give this analogy, and I will ask us, right? If you want to make an outfit and you have a fashion designer, 2 fashion designers to make outfits for you, and you have to choose between these 2 persons, one of them, after they've gone through their training and gotten their certification, had gone ahead to maybe had made outfit for 1 or 2 persons. They have TikTok handle, they have Instagram handle, they have video evidence of, the outfit they've made for this their client. And then the other person, let's say the other person's name is Dumebi, right? And Dumebi, since she's finished her fashion school, she had not made any outfit for anybody. And also remember, as a fashion designer or someone who is learning fashion designing, right, you also have some projects you work by yourself. You have some projects you have to do, right? Get to give you some projects to make outfits for yourself, to test that you are learning on the job, right? Now, between these 2 persons, Dumebi and the other person, let's say her name is Linda, okay? Linda has worked I've made outfit for 2 persons. Dumebi is yet to make outfit for 2 persons. Who would you choose to make outfit for you? I would like us to answer. If you choose Dumebi, just type Dumebi. If you choose Lillian that have experience, that have evidence that they have made outfit for someone, type Lillian on the chat, okay? And I know that most of us want to go to Lillian because you wouldn't want to give somebody your material or give somebody money to make an outfit for you and then send them a picture of an outfit you saw online and they deliver what you ordered versus what you got. We've seen that online happen several times. Now, this is the reason why recruiters would not want to hire you if you don't have strong technical skills, okay? Because unlike every other skill, it's more like if what do you call it, tech skills. Always see it as someone, and let's say someone trying to learn barbing or learning how to make haircut, or someone wants to learn how to make lay lace wigs. Okay, as long as you would not want to give such persons your lace wig or your clothes or your hair to give you a haircut or to make a hair for you or to make an outfit. That's exactly why recruiters look at your CV. You don't have relevant work experience and they'll be like, no, we can't hire this person. Or you have some gaps that inside the gap, when the gap is not like you're learning a skill, the gap is not like you're doing internship. They'll look at you like, we can't just, how are they going to trust their project to you? How would they give you your data to work on? So you get to mess up with it, right? So they're very skeptical about these things. Now, you've learned the skill, you will not get hired because you don't have technical skills or you don't have strong technical skills. How would you navigate this situation, all right? That is where Amdare comes in. Now, how does the internship work? You get to work on industry relevant business challenge, okay? Designed after actual business company challenges, okay? Or challenges companies face. Now, when you join Amdare, you'll be in a team. People are going to be, next cohort is tomorrow and they will get to be onboarded already. How would you convert a survivor job cleaning? All right. Clement, I'm going to answer your question, okay? Let me be done with it. Just if you have questions, please drop it on the chat. Now, when you join Amdare, you're going to be in a team, okay? And inside that team, you'll be in your specialized career path. So if you're coming in as a data analyst consultant or as a cybersecurity consultant or business analyst consultant or project management, you'll be in your team. And your line manager is an expert in the field that will help you, okay, when you're working on those projects. So you're working on projects with expert guide, all right? You're not working alone. Personally, the reason why if I tell you how many skills I've learned to now and I couldn't complete it, and the only reason I couldn't complete these skills is because I didn't have a guide. I did not have a community that I can that can help me boost my skills. For example, 2020 I learned UI designing. I did not complete my course because at some point I was working alone and I'm not a self-motivated person. And trust me, most of us have heard the story. Most of us can experience this. Most of us understand how it feels like learning things by yourself. There's only very few persons in this life that are self-motivated. They can sit down, learn courses online and, get good at it. Exactly. Esther, you understand, right? Someone like me, I started UI UX design during COVID-19. I did not complete it. I started data analytics. I did not complete it. I went to software engineering. The friend that was teaching me traveled, and that was where it ended because what would I do, right? And I kept going from one course to another, one career path to another, because I don't know who will help me. And that is where most of us are, right? You need a guide. You need a guide. It's just like someone who wants to go learn fashion designing. There's a reason people go to pay money for fashion school, because when you get to the fashion school, your boss, okay, or the person that is in charge of you or the charge of the fashion company, right? It gets to give you some projects. Okay, cut this pattern. Okay, this is sew this particular hand, sew the neck. This is how you pin this. This is how you pin that. They keep showing you consistently every day until if you're doing that for 6 months, you're doing that for 8 months. You realize that when you joined this fashion school, you probably don't know how to make a simple shirt. You probably don't know how to make a simple trouser that does not have design. But in your first month, you realize you can make, a trouser. You can make a shirt now. You can make, add some designs to your outfit. That is exactly, envision it to what you're going to experience in Amdare. And that is why you have experts guide. They get the project, they give you project briefing and tool training, and you get to have stand-up meetings twice weekly or 3 times weekly, have mentorship, you have career coaching. Your line manager, who is an expert that, puts you through this project briefing and tool training, also get to help you navigate any difficulties you may have when you start working on this project. So you are joining Amdare to build your skill so you can confidently answer interview questions, okay? Trust me, no matter how smart you are, if you have not worked on an actual project, during interviews, you can only use English to answer your question, okay? You will not be speaking directly to what recruiters want you to say. Trust me, there are people that are smart, but as smart as you are, people that are in this field can tell if you're not speaking English or if you've actually worked using the tools they're asking you about, right? Now, when you're done working on the project, your line manager will review it, okay? If you have errors or whatever it is that they would like you to improve on, they'll let you know. And aside that, you're not just building your technical skills here in Amdare. We are helping you build soft skill, which is presentation skill. You can't be a data analyst or a data engineer, or a data scientist, or a cybersecurity professional. Project managers always speak to stakeholders. Business analysts always speak to stakeholders. So you can't be in this career and you don't know how to present, and you don't know how to, use storytelling to explain the project you've worked on. So here, after you're done with the project, your line manager has reviewed it, you're going to present to your team and also present to stakeholders, and you will get feedback. All right. Now, once you're done with the project, you have access to a portfolio website for life. See, not having a portfolio website to take professional is like Lillian, okay, who is a fashion designer that made outfits for people. But if I ask them, okay, where is your Twitter, where is your social media handle? Do you have a TikTok page? Do you have an Instagram page? And I be like, no, I don't have. Okay, do you have a picture? No, I don't have. And they want me to believe that they are good in, the job, and I should give them the job, right? That's exactly how it feels like when you are applying for a job without a portfolio. Because who are you giving English for? When it comes to tech, nobody is looking at your English, the mini English you have in your CV. Recruiters want to see the actual projects you've worked on. And that's why having a portfolio website, it is very, very crucial. So Amdari gives you access to a portfolio website for life. And I'm going to share that to us, right? This is how the portfolio website looks like, okay? You have your professional picture. You're going to upload it here. A brief description about you. Now, you can upload projects. If you have some capstone projects you've worked on before, you can upload them here, as you can see, right? You get to upload external projects, and projects you've worked in Amdari, you get to upload it as well. And you can share this portfolio website across multiple social handles. You can share it on X, Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. Let me even ask, how many of us here have our LinkedIn URL on our CV? If you have your LinkedIn URL on your CV, give me a thumbs up. Okay, Aduke Okeke, you have it. Who else has their LinkedIn URL on your CV? See, if you don't have your LinkedIn URL on your CV, you have not started. It could be one of the reasons you're not landing a job. You have not started, okay? You don't have it remotely. You need to put it in your CV. Europa CV has a place you can put your LinkedIn URL. And please, when you join Amdari and you have access to this portfolio website, copy this URL, put it in your CV as well. Optimize, fill in all the projects you've worked on in your portfolio, all right? And use that to apply for jobs. Trust me, recruiters like to see your portfolio website. No recruiter will believe a data analyst that just come to write a CV and say, oh, I know how to use Power BI. I've used Tableau to work and it increased the revenue of the company to 30%. But you know that Tableau and Power BI is design. Automation, they need to see how you get to automate things. They need to see how your Power BI design is. Trust me, there are people that when they show you the Power BI skill, right? If you see some people's Power BI, you may have eye problem because of the choice of color they're using, okay, to visualize their data. It's a skill, it's a design. So they need to see it. It's not by writing it on your CV. And we understand these things. We did our research. We understand the nitty-gritties and the employability skills recruiters are looking out for to hire a candidate. Now we dug and we saw a research where recruiters say these are the top 3 things they're looking for in a candidate. Number 1 is a candidate that have strong technical skills. Exactly. If I want to make an outfit, I won't go and give somebody that is learning inside my money. No, so that you give me what I order versus what I got. Okay. 2, they are looking for candidates that can deliver high quality job. Obviously, you want to give someone, if you want to do a wedding or you want to make a street or a wedding dress, you won't want to use your wedding dress to give to somebody that is still learning on the job. They will use your materials to learn on the job, and on your wedding day, you look like, what you did not expect, right? I mean, it's funny, but that is how it feels like. So I always try to use these relatable things for you to understand the reason why you're not able to land a job, okay? Number 3 thing they're looking for a candidate is that they're looking for candidates that can work independently. If I ask us now, how many of us is transitioning to tech because we want to work remotely? Give me a thumbs up. I know most people transition to tech because you want to have the opportunity. Exactly. Okay, Esther as well. You want to have the opportunity to work from home. Now, ask yourself this question. If a company hires you now as a data analyst or as a cybersecurity professional or as a project manager and give you a task, can you complete that task without needing help? Give me a yes or give me a no on the chat or give me a thumbs up if you feel you can actually complete the task without needing a help. No, we have to tell ourselves the truth. Thank you remotely. We have to tell ourselves the truth, okay? I know that, yeah, they've told us lie on the job, but my dear, there's a company that will hire you. First week, the kind of tax they will give you, Yeah, the kind of task they will give you, you will realize that you messed up. You don't want to go into a job and you don't have strong technical skills, because the way they will kick you out, you will not believe it. Okay. And that's why you see your first, when they get you hired, you have probation for 3 months. They're just looking if you can actually do the job. There are people that get on probation 2 months, they relieve their job and they hire another person. You don't want to be in that shoe where you've tested the honey and they get the honey off your mouth just because you don't have the strong technical skills. And that's why I always advise people, have that strong technical skills, build your skill, get into Amdari, build your skill by working on real life projects. That way you also help yourself by, having confidence in, what I call it, negotiating your salary. See, people that are good in what they are doing, they are not scared. And I'll tell you why. That is why you see some fashion design. Look at if some of us are Nigerians, right? What's this lady that's a fashion designer? What's her name again? It might remind me, there's a popular Nigerian fashion designer. She's very good. Vicky James. Imagine going to Vicky James to make an outfit and you're telling her, she will tell you 2 million. If you cannot afford it, you leave. I don't know if you understand. That is the pride. That is the confidence she have in her craft. Do you understand? You need to get that confidence so that when a company is looking to hire you, you can tell them, oh, you can't pay me £50 yearly. You can't pay me £500 yearly. This is the amount I want. You're able to negotiate. You cannot have the mind to negotiate when you know that you lied in your CV. Facts, negotiating care. As they're giving you the contract to sign, your mind will be shaking. You'll be scared. You know what I'm talking about, right? You'll be scared because you don't know if these people will still find out that you're not very good like that, right? So you need to build your craft. And that is why Amdari is here to help you build your craft. So you have access to this portfolio website that recruiters get to see the projects you've worked on, okay? Because these projects are unique to you. Nobody can go to ChatGPT now and cook up this project and put here for you. Nobody can go to Google. See, if I want to build a data analyst CV, I'll go to Google and type data analyst CV, experienced data analyst CV. People's CV are there. I can copy it, use a very fine prompt, go to ChatGPT, refine it, make a CV with it and apply for a job. You think I'm lying? Trust me, I will get called for interview. But where the problem is, where you not get called for interview, come and defend what you've done. That is the problem. Okay? It's not about having fantastic CV. That is the problem. Can you defend what you have on your CV, or you be speaking English? All right? They can tell. They can't, if you use UK accents, they can tell you are not good in this. Okay? This is how recruiters get to see your portfolio website. Now, for those of us that have gone through boot camps and your knowledge is rusty, maybe you left your boot camp last year and since then you've lost touch of some of the things you've learned. We have a Learn platform. This is a crash course. You have access to this when you join Amdari as well. Okay, this crash course help you, refreshing your memory, refreshing your mind to the things that you learned during your boot camp. Okay, and don't forget, like I said, you have your line manager there. You have your line manager there. If you go to learn fashion designing and you're having difficulties and you cannot open master your madam, boss, I'm trying to cut this or I'm trying to do this, I don't know how to do it, please can you show me? You're not ready to learn. So you have your line manager. What are they there for? They are experts because they are there to help you navigate any difficulties until you are able to start running. Right now you are crawling. You're like a baby that is crawling, right? From crawling, you start standing on the wall. From standing on the wall, you start putting out one footstep to walk. Okay? From one footstep, you start putting out 2 steps at a time, fall. 2 steps at a time, fall. Before you know it, in a few months' time, you are running. That is what Amdari is giving to you. Okay? So this is a crash course. You have access to it. You want to learn Power BI, you want to learn Microsoft Excel. You want to, you're not supposed to replace your learning. Please, if you have not learned the skill, you have to learn the skill before joining Amdari. Okay? We are not teaching you the way EdTech company teaches you. You must have learned the skill, and then you come here and learn the practical aspect of it. This is where you get to work on real life projects and get better at that particular career. If you are yet to learn, you have to get the learning, then you come to Amdari. Okay? So aside this learning, this crash course, you can also utilize a lot of free resources online. There are a lot of people on YouTube, loads and loads of free resources online that can help you, okay? That can help you during your internship, okay? Now, let's go forward. I mean, I like that we are understanding ourselves. I like people that gives themselves, okay, get to ask themselves questions and tell themselves truth. Some people don't like to tell themselves truth, okay? and it's not good. Now, if you're transitioning, Amdari also rebrands you. How do we do that? Now, if you've tried applying for jobs there, do you know that you can be very good at what you do and you apply for a job and you even get to the last interview phase, and at the end of the day, you realize that they didn't call you for interview? Let me tell you what happened. Most of us are not very, very attentive. Okay. When you see a job, look at the job description very well, what they're looking for in a candidate. They'll not tell you, or they're looking for a candidate that can use this particular tool, a candidate that have like 2 years or 3 years experience, candidate that can do this, can do that. Look at the third part or the last part. Before, after certification, you will see that they're saying preferably candidates with experience in fintech, preferably candidates with experience in e-commerce. Have you seen that before? If you've applied for a job and you are smart enough, I mean, you're very attentive, you seen that kind of thing before, give me a thumbs up. Exactly. Adako, I've seen it. This is one of the recruitment bias that stops a lot of us from landing a job, but we don't know. We don't know. So I'll give you an example, right? I'm going to use 2 persons as an example, and I'm going to use data analytics to explain this, right? Lola and Adako apply for a job. Both Lola and Adako are data analysts. Okay. Let's say Adako had 4 years experience in e-commerce. Let's say Amazon. Is it Amazon? Yeah, Amazon, right? 4 years experience as a data analyst in Amazon. Lola has 4 years experience as well. And Lola has worked for at least 2 companies. Maybe she has worked for fintech and she has worked for, let's say, logistics and supply chain as a data analyst. Now, during the interview phase, Lola and Adako passed it. Maybe they give you guys technical interview, you passed it. Oral interview, you passed it. At the end of the day, they want to pick one person between Lola and Adako. Now, the company that both of you apply for this job is a fintech company. Like it's let's say it's a bank or a fintech, right? More like it's in the banking industry. Now, this company will naturally gravitate towards Lola because Lola has worked in a similar industry. He has worked in that industry before. Lola can understand the data sets of the fintech industry. It's not that Adako is not good, okay? But if they hire Adako, it will take Adako like 2-3 weeks or 1 month to understand the data set in this industry. But Lola, because she has worked in, on a data set in this industry before, that's 1 week. I know, let's face it, it's capitalist world. Nobody wants to hire somebody to be taking you forever to learn what to do on the job, right? Nobody is training you again, Adako. Let me tell you, that's why people are finding it difficult to land a job. Companies are not spending their money to train anybody. Companies, if you don't know now, go to Reddit, go anywhere to look for this thing I'm telling you. Companies are not training anybody again, except you're coming as a graduate trainee from university. Do you know why? Most times when companies train people, you realize that after those people have learned the skill, they will not even stay 1 year, they vanish. We know. You know yourself. Think about it. Okay? The company is paying you, let's say they're paying you 20K, for example, right? And then they've trained you. And you know that with the skill you have now, you can land a job that can pay you 80K or 60K. We know humans. You start trying your foot, okay? Trying to apply for jobs, better paying job. And immediately you find a job. Do you think, will you stay back in that company because they trained me? Let's tell ourselves the truth. If you stay back in that company because they trained you, give me a thumbs up. Let's see what's our mind. If Funaya says thumbs up, I mean, it is a no-brainer. You will leave because you are fending for yourself, okay? So these companies have faced this thing several times, and that's why they are not looking to invest in any candidates, okay? They're looking for ready-made candidates. I don't know if you understand. So don't think they will invest in, if they will invest in us or invest in people that are transitioning, people will not be finding it difficult to land a job. And you know the funny thing, they're also taking like 1 month, 2 months to fill a role. These companies are taking long to fill some space in their company. But they don't mind, even if it takes them 3 months to find out perfect candidates. Instead of training that person, they will rather wait so long because they have somebody that can back up until they get another person. They wait that long to get that candidate. So you have to meet these recruiters in the middle. Prepare yourself, land the job. Don't wait for them to train you. They will not train you, my sister. They will not train you. Now, that's why the product you'll be working in Amdari is spread across multiple industries, okay, to eliminate that bias that I just explained now. So you could see products in fintech, products in e-commerce, products in energy company, maybe oil and gas, maybe health tech. All the products we are working on is going to be different as they come. because we want you to have multi-industry experience. Another bias is that, or another thing that hinders people from landing a job is multi-technology experience. You could be a professional as a data analyst and they hired you maybe it's one small company that they don't have so many data. I like to use data analytics because I feel like people can understand that more, right? The company has small data and they only use Excel and Power BI or Tableau to, analyze and visualize. You can work there for 4 years or 5 years, and the only tool you know how to use will be Excel, Power BI, and Tableau. Am I communicating? If you leave that company, you will not get a better paying job. I know what I'm telling you, because a better paying job means you want to apply for companies that have huge data, maybe the top 5 or the top 4, big companies. These are the companies that can pay you well. And if they can pay you well and they use huge data, obviously you should know how to use Python. You should know how to use R. You should know how to use SQL, because Excel cannot carry the kind of data this company have. So that's why joining Amdari, you get to work using multiple tools. Your first project could be Excel and Tableau or Excel and Power BI. Second project, as you progress, you keep getting more advanced projects, okay? And build your skill across multiple technology or multiple tech stack. Now, we have employability specialists that work with you to revamp your CV, optimize your LinkedIn, okay? Now, I know you have spoke about your line manager gets to take you through project briefing and tool training. After that project briefing and tool training, all you have to do every day, dedicate 1 hour, work on the project that you have. Try as much as you can, attend your stand-up meetings, because that's where your line manager gets to keep tabs with you. If you have any difficulties at all navigating any software, they will help you solve that problem. They will show you how to navigate that issue, which is one of the problems we are facing. Me personally, I face that kind of problem. If I want to learn anything, I better learn in the community, have somebody that will guide me. If not, forget about it, okay? Now, Amdari also prepares their consultants for interviews, okay? We have interview sessions and mock interview with our consultant, because we know if you have good skill, if you have perfect, well-revamped CV, your LinkedIn is superb, well optimized. If you cannot sell yourself during interview, you will not land the job. Okay? It's like a shop owner, you are running a business and you have competitors and your price is cheap. And somebody comes to tell you, oh, this is why your price is cheap and everybody's price is expensive. Actually, you're not selling fake. I don't know how to convince your customer that your product is original and this is where you get to get your goods and this is why you're selling this at this rate. You will lose customers, oh. People that are around you that are selling fake at higher price will make more sales than you, just because you don't know how to sell. So everybody is a salesperson. You must learn to sell yourself during interview. You must learn to answer interview questions. It is a skill. So we coach and prepare our consultants on how to answer interview questions. And we have mock interviews with them, okay? And give you feedback. And it does not end there. First 2 months as you join Amdari, or the first month you join Amdari, you must have worked on 2 projects. Your CV has been revamped, LinkedIn optimized. As a consultant in Amdari, you have a KPI, okay? Trust me, you have a KPI. Part of your KPI is to apply for jobs, okay? Part of your KPI is to apply for jobs. It doesn't matter if your skill is strong or not. I know you just worked on 2 projects, but the reason why we designed it that way, because we know the more you face interviews, the more confident you are, the more you understand the gaps you have, and then close the gaps. Okay, you can have interview tomorrow or have interview today. You know some questions they ask, you don't know how to answer that. You write it down. You know that, see, I need to know how to answer this kind of questions next time. Okay, if you have technical interview and there are some questions they gave you during your technical interview, you don't know how to solve it, write it down. Oh, your line manager, there was this question they asked me in my interview yesterday. I had a technical interview and this was the question. This was what they asked us to solve. I couldn't solve it. Help me. I don't know if you understand me. This is how you get to prepare yourself to land a job. Nobody will hand you a job for free. Nobody will just wake up and say, oh, Lola, come and take a job. Or Adako, take this job. You are finished. You have done well for yourself. You are done with your boot camp. What? Take this job. Even your own brother will not give you this job if they had a company. Okay? If you have a brother that has a tech startup, they will not give you a role as a project manager, a role as a data analyst. See, there's no favoritism in tech. It's either you have the skill or you don't have the skill. The highest thing they can do for you is you become an intern and they'll hand you over someone that is an expert to train you. But they will not hand over this business or their data problem or their cybersecurity problem to you in the name of you're their sibling or you're their friend. It does not happen in tech. That is why it feels like so get a job in tech is tough. Okay, but it's actually a very simple process. Learn the skill, build your competence using the tools, and land the job. It's as simple as that. Okay, now we also give you on-the-job support when you land the job. We've had people that landed, in fact, they're currently in the internship and they've landed the job. Trust me, I'm not bluffing. Someone sent us a message last week. Where's that guy? I think he's in the US. He sent a message that you'll not be participating fully because he has finally landed a job. We have cases like this. If you go to our YouTube, you will see them. If you go to our Instagram page, you will see it. You even see the chat. We have to screenshot the chat and put it, let people see. People are landing jobs. These are people that took their KPI serious. These are people that actually dedicate time to finish their project on time, because all these projects have timelines. Some projects require to submit it in 1 week, some 2 weeks. They join their stand-up meetings. They're able to communicate to their colleagues. They're able to communicate to their line manager. You are building that skill brick by brick. Okay, build the confidence to answer interview questions, and they finally land the job after many years of trying, after many months of trying. Okay, now you get job reference letter with Amdare as well. See, lot of us in Canada and UK, we know the ball. Even if you're an expert in Nigeria or Ghana or India or Pakistan, whatever country you're coming from, and you emigrate to UK, applying for a job in UK, even if you have 8 years experience, the UK recruiters will tell you, if you don't have experience working in the UK company, sorry, we cannot hire you. Have you faced that before? It happens every day. Both UK and Canada, it's very, very, like, they're very good at doing that. US is a bit different, right? So that's why you get a job reference letter with Amdare. You can reference Amdare, okay? Amdare is registered in UK as a consulting company. You can reference Amdare. It's also registered in Canada. That's our headquarters, right? Our headquarters is in Canada. You can reference Amdare, so that bias already is eliminated now. So we have our next cohort that is open in June, which is our next cohort is started tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. So if you'd like to join those, I've already spoken about the portfolio. If you'd like to join those that will be getting onboarded tomorrow, please take advantage of this discount. It's ending, what is the time now? 11:59. I'm sorry if you're just hearing about it, but I'm sure they've been posting it on the group chats. It's ending at 11:59 today. Tomorrow is the onboarding. To secure the discount of paying for the 3 months work experience internship and gaining 6 months work experience internship. You can see on the screen, the 6 months work experience internship is £750 and you get to pay in 5 installments. 3 months work experience internship is £390. You get to pay in 3 installments. But for the 50% discount we are running, forget about what you're seeing in this 6 months now. Okay, forget about what you're seeing here. Focus on the 3 months. This is where the discount is right? Use £130, secure your slots. It is ending by 11:59. Join those that are going to be getting onboarded tomorrow. Okay? Use £130, secure your spot. You get to pay in 3 months interval. That's £130 this month, £130 next month, £130 the next month. That's 3 months. And then you get to have 6 months work experience internship. This is one in a lifetime offer. You will not get it again. It is ending today, 11:59, because the cohort onboarding is starting tomorrow, June 7th. So if you'd like to secure your spots, okay, if you'd like to secure your spots now before the discount disappears, I'm going to drop the link to make payments on the chart. And when you click on that link, please, if you've not filled the attendance form, please fill the attendance form, okay? Fill the attendance form. If you also want me to send you this what do you call it, this payment link directly to your DM this night before the discount disappears, fill the attendance form. Also, if you want to get a recording of this session, okay, if you click on that link I dropped right now, it will take you to this page. All right, now on this page, just navigate your way down. If you want to go for data analytics or data science or data engineering or business analysis or agile project management or any of the cybersecurity specialization, please don't select 6 months. Select 3 months. If you select 6 months, your first installment is not going to be £130. It will be £150. Okay, you are benefiting from the discount. So select 3 months internship plan. Okay, click on secure your internship. I'll use data analysis as an example. Click on secure your internship, and to bring you to this page. All right. Here, you get to change the currency you want to use in making payment. So if you want to pay in dollars, if you want to pay at the top right-hand side, if you want to pay in British pound sterling, if you want to pay in Canadian dollars, just select it here, right? So you scroll down. Like I said, you pay in 3 installments. If you still want to make a one-time payment, it's not bad, but take advantage of the installment plan and secure your spot, okay? The discount offer is going off $11.59 today. Click on secure internship and proceed, all right? Now here, fill in your details, your name, your email address as it's required. Your phone number is optional. If you don't want to have it there, you just proceed. Confirm your email address and then make your payment. Now, when you make your payment, if they show you something that can serve as an evidence of payments here, please take a screenshot of it. And also you will receive a payments confirmation email from Mainstack. Now, after this payment is successful on this page, it is going to bring you to the initial page we came out from. It's going to bring you back to this place. If it did not bring you back here, okay, please navigate your way here again, because you need to fill a form. That is very, very important. This form is very important, okay? Click on payment registration form. All right, this is where you get to indicate which program you actually want to go for. All right, now fill the form accordingly as required, and then go to the next page. Please fill the form correctly. Go to the next page, and on this next page, indicate the internship program you want to go for. So let's say you want to go for data analytics, just indicate that. Now remember, I say you have to take a screenshot of any payment receipt you have that shows that you've made your payment. Please upload it here. State the name of the account using making payments. Read the terms and conditions. Like I said, you want to go for the 6 months work experience internship, right? Select 6 months. And then you go to next. Now here, this is, if you'd like to split your internship in 2. Now, this is very, see why I say this form is important. Some persons would like to do project management and business analysis, okay? Let's face it. As a project manager, it's good to understand, have business analysis skill. That is what recruiters are looking for now, okay? You can combine these 2 programs and do one 3 months, another one 3 months, okay? This is what this page is for. If you want to do data analytics and data science, you can do that. But please, you cannot go for data analytics and data engineering. Don't jump from data analytics to data engineering. You cannot combine these 2 career paths, because for you to do data engineering, you must have machine learning skill or knowledge and Python. If you don't have it, it will be difficult for you. Please stick to data analysis and data science, or data analysis and business analysis, or you want to combine 2 cybersecurity specializations like ethical hacking and GRC, or SOC analytics and GRC, or SOC and ethical hacking. So just indicate which one you want to go for the first month and the one you like to go for the next 3 months. Then click on select next. Now here, this is where you get to tell us if you want to join the course that will be having their onboarding tomorrow, which is June 7th, or you want to secure this discount that is not going to come back again. You want to secure this discount and defer your admission. You can only defer your admission to July. Please, this is recorded as well, okay, for my own evidence. You can only defer your admission for this particular discount to July. You cannot defer your admission beyond July, okay? It's either you're joining tomorrow, people that are getting onboarded tomorrow, or you defer your admission to July. Now, tell us what you found about Amdari and what influenced your decision in making payments, and then you submit your form. So at this point, I'm going to allow us to ask questions. If you have questions, I think somebody has a question on the chat. Let me answer that first. So I'm going to unmute the mic and allow us to ask questions if you have questions. All right. So let me see the questions on the chat. Please just raise your hands. I'll call you up to ask. Let me just get to answer the questions on the chat. Somebody said, what time is the onboarding tomorrow? So the timing depends on, I think it should be noon to evening. It depends on your track. If you're going for data analytics or you're going for business analysis, the time for the onboarding is different. So that you get to receive an email from us concerning the onboarding, okay? How many stand-up meetings? Twice weekly. And the timing for the stand-up meetings, you and your team member and your line manager, you guys will vote on the time you prefer, all right? You vote on the time you prefer for your stand-up meetings. Somebody asked, I'm transitioning this call with who? You're transcribing the call with who? Oh, why are you transcribing the call? All right, you can get the recording, just fill the attendance form. I will still be trained again. Why, Adaku? You don't have the skill? You don't have to retrain, no, Adaku. If you have basic knowledge, you don't have to retrain. That would be wasting of your money. As a beginner that has not done anything in tech, where do I start? You start by going to boot camp. Okay, I can recommend one for you if you'd like. Start by going to boot camp. If you don't want to go to boot camp and you feel like if you don't want to go to boot camp and you feel like you are somebody that can, motivate yourself, you are self-motivated, you can take advantage of YouTube. Okay, there are a lot of free resources on YouTube, Coursera. You can take advantage of those platforms. If you want to learn a course, you can use this Tenalytics. It's very popular in UK as well. They're doing a great job. All right. Let me see if someone else has another question for me. So if you have questions now, you can unmute your mic or raise your hands. Please, let's make it orderly. Raise your hands, ask your question, and I'll call you up to ask your questions. All right. Adaku, raise your hand and give me thumbs up. Okay, Adaku, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Okay, hi. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ozichi, right?
Yes.
Yes, Ozichi, thank you very much. I have a question. I just want to be clean. My question, very, very transparent. So I'm a student here in UK, right? And I'm studying business analytics.
Yeah.
My MS, right? But I was also advised that someone gave me a scenario that even if you study business analytics in your MSc and somebody that does business analytics as a professional course,
I'm struggling to hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
But it sounded like muffled.
Okay.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Better. Better.
Okay.
Better.
All right, good. Okay. Someone gave me a scenario of two different people, one that did studied business analytics in MSc and one other person that studied business analytics as a professional course. So, and told me that among the two, who do you think he's going to take? Because I told him that the person that did business analytics in the professional course, because the person is going to have a mentor, number one, is going to have a project, number one, and secondly, and someone is going to have a community where they're going to guide them and hands-on experience there. So he said, "Sure, you see." So that's why I'm interested in this. So my first question is this. I'm a student, I'm studying MSc, Business Analytics in UK here, and it's going to be a 1-year study. And I really want to take this professional course. However, I want to deviate to something else. Either I want to do SOC analyst or cybersecurity. These two. I business analytics entails Python, SQL, and all. I'm not so good in Python. Python, it scatter my head. Coding is not easy. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie. It's not easy at all. I can't deceive myself in it. It's not easy. So I need an advice. I don't want to be confused. I need an advice. What can I actually do that will not stress my brain? But I want hands-on experience, something I know, yes, I can beat my chest and say, yes, I did this, I'm proud of this, I can work with this, I can defend it, I can go for an interview with it. But if I should do this business analytics that entails Python, I'll go flop.
Hi, Adaku.
Yeah.
Business analysis does not entails you to do Python.
Analytics.
Yes, you don't necessarily have to do Python, except you don't necessarily have to do Python. Okay?
Okay.
Just like
not analysis, so analytics.
That's what we are doing. You don't necessarily have to do Python. So it's more like business analytics and project managers, they almost use the same tool. The only difference is you learn how to use Power BI and Excel, okay? Except you want to get into data in analytics. okay, then you would like to learn Python so that you get a better paying job. Like I
No,
said,
no Python, no Python, no.
no, I'm trying to explain something for you. Some persons that are data analysts don't know Python, okay? So the only difference is this. If you want to get a higher pay, I don't know if you understand what I mean.
I
If you want to get
understand.
hired a better role that's, hot cake, you may want to learn Python. But there are lots of data analysts that don't know Python, but they are still doing their job. So as a business analyst, it is not compulsory that you must have Python skill. Okay?
Okay.
So you may want to do business analysis and project management. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Combine both of
Okay.
them together.
Okay.
So it will help you in the job market because these are also the two in demand, one of the two in demand skills. Okay.
Okay. Not cybersecurity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I will come in
Yes,
there,
yes.
yeah,
Go ahead, Uzo.
cybersecurity is a long shot from where you are currently, Adako. All right, so you already have a foundation in business analysis since you are doing an MSc in that field, But because you are doing a master's program, they're going to bombard you with a lot of things, just to
Exactly. And
a lot of things that are not
it's
necessary.
crazy.
And that's why I think you are writing Python in school. It's not necessary. Do you get? So for business analysis, there is a no-code tech skill. There's what I call a no-code tech skill. We don't need it to be coding to be able to work in tech. So, business analysis is one of the no-code career paths. Project management is also one of the no-code career paths. So you don't have anything to worry about. Business analysis, there is no code unless you want to do data science. All right. So whether it's analysis or analytics, it's the same thing. All right. It's a no-code career path and it's safe for you. Thank you.
Okay. So the deal is finish my school, then register for the course, or in between, I still run the professional course. What do you think? What's your advice? Because the school fees no be there o.
Our program is designed in such a way that it's flexible. So if you're only supposed to devote 2 hours of your time daily. All right.
Crazy.
Yeah, 2 hours of your time daily. And because we understand that a lot of our consultants, our interns are in the UK, so some of them are schooling, some of them are done with school, but they have a job they are doing at the moment to survive. All right. So
Because I'm actually looking for a job like this as a student.
Yeah,
I've been in UK for 6 months now.
So
I'm jobless.
Yeah, so a lot of our sessions, our stand-up sessions, our mentoring sessions happens in the night, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So it doesn't disrupt your academic program. It doesn't interrupt your academic program.
That's when sleep will be very interesting. God have mercy.
You have to choose what you want. If you want to sleep or you want to get ahead, just make a decision. It's yours. Thank you.
Very good. Okay.
So Adako, will you be joining us tomorrow?
No, I just said I'm jobless. So.
Adako, you have to do something. No?
I'm looking for a job. I'm seriously looking for a job. If you guys can employ me, no problem. And take it from my pay. No wahala. I don't mind. I'm serious. I'm very, very serious. I'm seriously looking for. I've gone to the extent to go and do mortuary attendant. They bounced me back. So please, I'm looking for a job.
No problem, Adako. We'll look into that. Please. So I want to answer Chijioke. Is it Chi? What's his name? Clement's questions. Sorry, Clement, I forgot about that. How would you convert a survivor job like cleaning, security? How would you combine it? That's what you mean. That can count for you during application and interview as a tech professional. I mean, for somebody who is doing cleaning jobs or warehouse jobs and still we are able to bring out, to learn this skill. Do you know that's a skill on its own? You have grit, you have time, good, very perfect time management skill. It's not everybody that can do it. To be working and be learning a skill. It's more like you're working, you're learning, and then you're doing internship at the same time. You have a very good time management skill. Okay, trust me, you may not know how to put it in, but we have employability specialists, all right, that understands how to put these things in the language that could help you land the job. That's why they work with you to revamp your CV. That's not a problem at all right? They work with you to revamp your CV. They are specialists in that field. They're professionals in that field. They know how to navigate these things. All right. Have I answered your question? So if anyone else has question, please raise your hands and then I will call you up to unmute your mic and ask. All right, let me see. Clement, have I answered your question? You can unmute your mic. Hi, Damilola. Are you going to be joining us soon? Degbe Esther. Okay, Clement, will you be joining us tomorrow or would you like to start July? Would you like to secure your discount? Hi, Emmanuel Ogodo. I'm on already. All right. Don't worry. The employability specialist will work with you on that. Okay. You're welcome. So you'll be having your onboarding tomorrow, right? Hi, Esther, Annie, Felicia, Omono. You guys have been quiet. Do you have questions for me? Emmanuel Ogodo, Ifunanya, Joanna, Lola Shitu. You were very responsive. Do you have questions for me? Matthew Adegite. This is not your first time of joining our session, Matthew. I think I've seen you before. Hi, Lola. Do you want to speak?
Hi. I said I already asked, and at the time you were actually answering to Adako. It was kind of similar to my own questions as well too. So, thank you.
Okay. So will you be joining us?
Oh, I already
Enrolled.
enrolled. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, wow. Welcome. So you're on board. Have you received your emails yet?
Oh yeah, I did already.
All right. Welcome. Hi, Joanna, Andrew, Ifunaya Ozioma, Felicia Omonu. Do you have questions? You have questions. Remotely, you've been very responsive. Do you have questions? Talatu, I think Talatu has joined us. Talatu is currently working with us. Who else? Tokpe Lawson. Who else had not asked questions? Esther Annie, do you have questions for me? Emmanuel, you don't have questions. So are you joining the next cohort? Esther, go ahead.
Hi, Ozichi. Thank you so much.
Yeah, come.
Very interactive. No, I don't have a question. It was very explanatory. I'm joining the Albany tomorrow anyway, so.
Oh, have you enrolled already?
Yes, I have.
Oh,
Looking forward to that. Oh, thank you very much. Also, well, I'm tempted to ask this too. Do you know how long the onboarding takes? Just to prepare myself. I know I'm on BA, so it's 1 p.m. So do you have any idea? Like, does it take up to 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours? For the
let me ask. Brown, do you want to answer that?
Yes, it's supposed to be an hour session, but if you can overstretch into 30 minutes because of questions and answer, but it should be an hour session.
Okay. Thank you very much, both of you. All right, I'll mute myself. Thank you.
Okay. Emmanuel, you say you're working on that. I hope you're going to take advantage of these discounts because I remember the last time, many months ago, we had something like this. People started coming back to me. Oh my God, I thought you guys were joking. If you go back to the original price, if you want to go for 6 months, you will pay £750. And then 3 months will be £390. So take advantage of it. For those that are taking advantage of it now, they're starting their onboarding tomorrow. They'll be smiling right now. If you don't take advantage of this, my hands will be tied when you come back, to be honest. Hi, Boyo Emmanuel. I'm yet to hear your voice. I would like to hear your voice as well. Do you have questions for me? Boyo Emmanuel. Who else? Hi, Chidima Uche. All right. And D&Q Limited. So I would say that we've heard everything that's been said. The discount is ending 11:59 this night. So the onboarding will be starting tomorrow. If you'd like to secure your discount, secure your slot, and join people that will be having their onboarding tomorrow, you can do that before the discount is off the table. Or you want to secure the discount and start in July, you can also do that. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, taking out your time. Okay, Boyo, go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Boyo.
Yes. Yeah, I think I've had this on my WhatsApp, but I haven't had time to join this section. And basically, some things you said about this interactive section. Like for me, for example, I did information technology in the UK, and IT sometimes you want to start earning because you got so much bills to pay. And when you talk about Power BI, machine learning and all that. There's so, and you did your project and all that, but once you start working and doing other stuff aside what you were taught in your program, you start deviating and trying to come back is a very hard thing to do. You start thinking of doing what you have to do right now and going back to stuff like this. So today and for on joining this, so I might as well join some other time. It's so I could be decisive on which of the programs to do because I can't actually decide which one now. Though I did information technology, but to be honest, yeah, I don't think most things that I was excited doing then I could actually go back and use it now, except I key in before I could, use it for my career path. Yeah, that's just it.